insightful. IATEFL is rewarding.
IATEFL is enjoyable and valuable.
IATEFL is generative.
IATEFL is diversification.
IATEFL is thought-provoking.
IATEFL is energizing.
IATEFL is accommodating.
IATEFL is enriching.
IATEFL is celebratory.
IATEFL is exciting.
IATEFL is diverse.
IATEFL is inspiring.
IATEFL is inclusive.
IATEFL is developmental.
IATEFL is networking.
IATEFL is a collaborative.
IATEFL is opportunities.
IATEFL is mind-blowing.
IATEFL is empowering.
IATEFL is professional.
IATEFL is amazing.
Hello there. That video always ends so abruptly. I really must edit it again. Hi everyone, I'm Sean and welcome to another IATEFL Online. Well, the first of the new academic year in the UK. Schools went back this week, so of course it is currently 32 degrees outside. So after a miserable summer, we're back with our IATEFL Live online broadcast. And if we're back, that must mean there's information that we need to give you. So today we're going to concentrate on two things. It is that time of year when IATEFL speaker proposals, main conference proposals need to be submitted. So we're going to talk about that. And we're also going to talk about our brand new event, which is coming up in just a few days' time now with it. So the IATEFL Themes event, which I'm very excited about. So hi, everyone. If you want to ask a question, if you've got any comments, do put them into the box. We are currently live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So do feel free to drop me a comment there. And if you're watching the recording, hi, welcome. Do pay attention in the recording to the deadlines that we talk about in this session in terms of the speaker deadline proposals and registering for the Themes event. So, as I said, we are going to be talking about speaker proposals with that, and I'll bring in our guests to talk about that in a moment. I think we've got Sarah down there. There we go. Sarah, you ready to join us? So, hi, here's Sarah Ward, the conference program organizer. Did I get it right? Did I get it right? That's
nearly. The main thing.
Nearly. Program coordinator.
Coordinator. There you go. Organizer, coordinator. Hi, Roz. How you doing, Roz? Nice to see you, hear you, or see your words in there. So, Sarah, we're going to let's talk about deadlines and conference speaker proposals. It is that time of year, isn't it?
Yeah.
The busy time for you. Shall we? Hi, Alex. How you doing? Shall we pop that on? Pop on the slides on the screen and get talking about. So we do this time every year, but let's remind people. How do you get going with conference proposals? If you want to do. Hi, everyone. How you doing, Sarah?
So I mean, the first step, which isn't really included in here, but it's worth talking about now, is about getting your idea together. The topics, IATEFL is not themed. It doesn't cover just one area of ELT. It's for every aspect of ELT. If you've got something ELT related, you want to talk about it, we'd love to hear from you. So talk to your colleagues, talk to your friends, have a think about what kind of thing you want to be talking about, because you can't really start this process until you know what it is that you want to
what you're going to talk about.
Yeah.
And I think you make a good point, because of course we are a big church and we're a big umbrella organization in the sense that we deal with everything in terms of English language teaching. So you're going to get teachers talking about practical stuff. You're going to get researchers presenting their research. You know, if you have an idea about something you do, then it can be developed into a proposal. Yeah, I would say is an important thing.
Absolutely. And there's some really helpful resources to help you with that. The first link that is there. And I know they're going to be shared in the chat.
I will popping them in now. Yeah.
Perfect. So there's a link to a YouTube video from a session that we did last year. With with us, and also Lindsay Clanfield was there, and Lindsay was talking about how he chooses his topics, how he works out what he wants to talk about, and that's a really helpful thing to watch. There's also a recorded webinar which is mentioned there, again also on YouTube, of that Madeleine de Vivier has prepared on how to write an effective IATEFL conference proposal. And that's going to take you through the speaker guidelines and everything that the proposals committee is going to be looking at, because everything that gets submitted gets read by the proposals committee. It's read blind, and they're the ones that decide who's getting in, who needs to maybe tweak their idea slightly to be accepted, and who is an outright, we can't have this in the conference. And that the webinar that Madeleine did is really helpful, because she goes through some of those common reasons that people get maybe rejected, and just helps you kind of refine your idea and what it is that you're going to be submitting.
So just to interject to people, because I'm looking at the post going in there then. So LinkedIn, if you're watching us on LinkedIn, I do apologize. LinkedIn doesn't allow us to post into it, but hopefully you'll be able to see those, or come to the IATEFL conference page, which I'll show in a moment, and be able to see those links. So there are two, but if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, there are two links that have gone through at the moment. So the first one that's gone through is to what Sarah talked about, is to live stream that we did last year with Lindsay Clanfield, Sarah, John, and myself, if I remember rightly. And that's very much looking at it from I want to speak point of view. So Lindsay, as a long-time speaker at IATEFL, was talking about giving his advice about what to put into a proposal. So that's kind of takes the speaker, I want to speak point of view. And then, as Sarah said, the other link that you can see going in there now, that's gone in there now, sorry, is to a webinar which was given by Madeleine, who heads up proposals, and that gives a point of view of what the proposals committee are looking for. So you've got both views, if you like, with it. If you can't see those links in your social media chat, we'll make sure they're going to be seen elsewhere. I think we're behind the scenes trying to deal with that.
Yeah,
Thanks,
sure.
John.
So I mean, that the website that we can see on the PowerPoint there, iatefl.org/conference/speaker-information, has all this information. And perhaps most importantly, it also has the proposal guidelines on that website, and that will take you through the form. It will tell you exactly what you need to write, where you need to write it, and as long as your topic is ELT related and it meets the criteria listed in the guidelines, then you're going to get in the conference one way or another. That's kind of the gist of it. If you can do what we ask you to do, then you're gonna be okay.
Basically,
so
follow the rules.
Yeah, basically, yeah. If possible, could you follow the rules? And we'll love that. So that's kind of your starting point, is to get all that information and kind of assess what it is you want to talk about, and how it is you're going to get that into a proposal form that's going to be submitted to IATEFL.
Yeah, and so when people are putting their proposal together, I think the things that resonated with me from Lindsay last year, from a speaker point of view, is making sure that, yes, you've got something to say, but you've got to put it in a way that the audience are going to feel that you've got something to say as well. So catchy title, catchy summary, those kind of things.
Absolutely. Yeah. Remember when people are looking in the conference program, particularly the printed conference program, we don't actually include the abstracts in that anymore, just to really cut down on our paper usage. The abstracts will all be available online to conference delegates, but those that are looking physically in the conference program on site are only going to see your title. So really think about that. Think about what it is you're trying to say and how you can get that into a 10-word title that people are going to look at that and go, yeah, I really want to hear what that person has to say.
The 10-word title always threw me when I spoke regularly. It's trying to get it into 10 words. I find quite hard work. But I guess that's the other piece of advice that comes through in that live stream with Lindsay, was kind of drafting it and before you go to the actual form, making sure that you kind of write it out into a Google Doc or something like that with it. And making sure you practice, because it is actually a hard word. It feels like there are a lot of words, but there aren't that many words in any of the sections.
It is quite quite short in the grand scheme of things. Really, you've got to get all of your ideas into quite a short space of time. So
exactly.
Yeah, really think about make the use of every word that you're going to put on that form.
Exactly. No, yeah. And I was like, where can I get that preposition? Do I need that article? Can I change this? Can I change that? Okay, so step number one, go and, if you've never submitted before, go read the information on the IATEFL website, get the speaker information on how to write an effective IATEFL proposal. We've given you the links to the speaker point of view from Lindsay, and we've given you the links to what the conference proposal committee is looking for with it. Good morning, Ricardo. Shall we move on to point 2, Sarah?
Yes.
Okay, so point 2, there we go.
So yeah, this is what you were just saying about drafting your proposal. So look through the guidelines. The guidelines will tell you what is going to be on the form. You can always go look at the form in advance as well if you need to. I'll tell you how to get to the form in a little bit. But draft what you want to say and get a couple of people to read it. To get them to proofread it, make sure that you haven't made any mistakes in your language, that it makes sense. And that if they were looking at that in a conference program, would they want to go to that session? Would that attract them as a professional to go and listen to you? So it's really
you're going to tell you're going to get people to proofread it, but they've got to proofread it critically. And sometimes you get your best mate or your colleague to read it, but you want them to cast a critical eye over it. Yeah, it's got to be it's got to be, as you said, looking for making sure that it's written correctly, but also I think they need to be critical and say, look, that doesn't really work like that, or change that, make that more attractive, or change the wordings. I think is important as well. With it.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that's really key as well is that, and this happens a lot, when people submit a workshop proposal, a workshop is a 45-minute session as opposed to so there's a talk, which is a 30-minute session, which includes Q&A, but is you kind of 30 minutes talking to an audience, kind of a lecture style event. A workshop is 45 minutes, but it must have audience participation in it. And if you do not make it clear in your summary what that audience participation will be, the proposals committee will look at it and go, that's not a workshop, that's a talk, and they will allocate you a talk slot. So if you want there to be active participation in your session from the audience, do really, really make that extra clear in your summary. That's really, really important.
Actually, I think you're right. It's a good point. If somebody hasn't actually been to conference before or submitted before, we're generally talking that there are very loosely 2 types of session. There is the talk, which is 30 minutes long. Yeah, so normal a proposal for a talk is 30 minutes long, and the workshop proposals are 45 minutes long. So they're slightly longer. I appreciate there are other little combinations of permutations within that, but you're usually proposing to do a talk.
Yeah, that's what the bulk of the sessions are. They're talks and they're workshops. We also have panel discussions and poster presentations and forums, and all of that is explained in full in the guidelines, but the majority of proposals will always come in as talks and workshops.
And the reason I say that is because I think if you haven't proposed a 30-minute talk before, just be realistic about what you can do in 30 minutes. I think people can be overambitious with that amount of time.
Absolutely.
Certainly with it. Okay, so draft your proposal. Should we move on to point 3?
Yeah. So point 3 is quick and easy. Log into your dashboard. So you go to www.iatefl.org and you click log in. If you've never logged in before, there's an option there to create an account. It's free to create an account. We just need some really basic information from you to create an account, and that will give you a IATEFL dashboard, and that's all that kind of is. If you ever have issues logging in to the dashboard, if you've there's a forget password link there that you can use, but if you have any issues, just email us at IATEFL. The easiest one is probably info@iatefl.org. Send us an email and we'll get back to you as soon as we can, just to help you get into your account.
So you've got to make an account, and you've got to go to the dashboard at IATEFL.org in order to make that proposal. So I go to the dashboard, and then what?
Then what you do once you're on your dashboard is point number 4, which is
Hang on, there we go. Sorry.
to check. I was like, oh no, that's not right. To check that your IATEFL membership is active. So you have to be a member of IATEFL to submit a proposal. On your dashboard is a membership info section over on the right hand side, and it will tell you if you're a current member, it'll tell you when it expires, and if you're not a current member, it will tell you click here to join or click here to renew if you've been a member in the past. But you must make sure your membership is active. So complete the form and make sure we get payment as well, because until payment for your membership is received, that membership will not be activated.
Okay.
So yeah, and don't leave that until the last day.
No, because you've got to get your membership. You've got to make sure you're active before you actually before you can put in a proposal. So really don't leave that to the last day. Yeah,
please don't.
That would be madness.
Yes, it would be. And there's an email address there, membership@iatefl.org. If you have issues with your membership specifically, then that is the people to get in touch with. Our membership team will be happy to help you to work through any issues that you might have there.
Cool. Right. And now is it step 5? He said taking his hands off the slides. So we don't jump too many numbers. There we go.
So yeah, once you remember, you'll be able to see a block on your dashboard that says proposals, and if you click on that block, then it takes you to the proposals form. If you can't see that block, it's because you're not a member, basically. If you think you should see it and you can't see it, then do get in touch and we'll look into it for you. But generally it's because your membership's not activated. Once you've got on the form, then you fill it in. One important point here that it mentions here is when you're copying and pasting it across, make sure the whole thing is there. There are word limits on each box. So for your abstract has to be 50 to 60 words, and your summary has to be 200 to 250 words. If what you're copying across is more than that, it will just stop mid-sentence. It won't copy anything above that word limit. So do just make sure that it is that. And one thing I've noticed is that sometimes what Word thinks is 250 words is not what the form thinks is 250 words. Check things like spaces. I had someone or a couple of people recently trying to submit, and they're saying it's not letting me submit because it says there's too many words. And all it was there was a space at the end after the last sentence was a space, and it counted because it's counting the spaces and not the words. So little things like that, just to be really super careful on and check. Please do not include any emojis. The form will not let you submit if there are any emojis in your anything. So even if it's just like you're trying to use bullet points and things like that, sometimes it gets.
So it's got to be letters, characters. Yeah.
Use letters and characters from your keyboard. And once you've done, there's a submit button at the end, and you click on that, and you get an email. It sounds so simple when you put it like that, but yeah, you've submitted it, you get an email as confirmation. If you don't get that email, then get in touch and we'll see where the problems occurred. But all of that absolutely has to be done by 4 o'clock UK time on Wednesday the 13th of September, and we will not be accepting any late proposals. And yeah, we just ask, where possible, don't leave it to the last day, because if you have a technical issue, if your internet goes down, if your computer crashes, we can't extend the deadline for you. So
no, you don't want to leave it to the last day. And then simply, there's so many people trying to propose on the last day that anything technical might go wrong. Just don't. If you want to speak and you want to propose, don't leave it to the last day. As Sarah's already highlighted, there are a number of steps you have to do. So you don't want to be going in, making an account, making sure you remember, and proposing and putting that proposal all on the last day. And again, as she said in one of those earlier steps, it is important perhaps to draft what you're doing. So you can only do that if you've logged in and seen what you need to do. At the very least, you're going to need a title, you're going to need an abstract, and you're going to need a summary, and they are 10 words, 50 words, and 200 words. So you've got to plan all that before you go in and do it. So I mean, we say it every year, but people still do it. Don't leave it to the last minute. You have a week and 1 day pretty much to get it sorted out.
Yeah, you do. And bear in mind as well, if you've got questions, there is only 10 of us at head office. So there's only so many emails that we can answer within any one working day. So please just be a bit patient with us. If you've got questions, get those in as soon as possible. I'm working through any questions that come into my inbox as quickly as I can. But if I get bombarded with 500 questions on the final day, I'm never going to get through those.
Yeah, it's just madness to leave it to. I can't really say it any other way. It's totally bonkers to leave it to the last day. I know how hard you're working head office and how many emails you get. So the last thing you need to be doing on the last day is trying to deal with those and people getting stressed out because you haven't dealt with it. So set yourself a deadline. Not Sarah, that's you, audience. Set yourself a deadline to get your proposal in, and that deadline perhaps should be Monday or Tuesday of next week at the very latest. Mariam, I can see your question. Mariam, if you haven't seen it, she asked. She's delivered a workshop with 60 international professionals in ELT, and it was successful. I wanted to know if the same topic would be acceptable. I would say yes. Send in a proposal. If you've already done it, then it doesn't matter that you've not. It doesn't have to be an original talk, so to speak. At IATEFL, you might just want to bring it to a bigger stage. So
exactly,
if you're happy
as long
with
as
it,
you haven't absolutely, as long as you haven't presented it at an IATEFL conference before, then that's fine. It can be something that you've presented somewhere else, something that you've written up somewhere else. As long as it's your idea and you want people to hear about it, then we're happy.
I would say the only thing you might need to consider about the changes, Mariam, is what is in order to fit to the format of the proposal with it, in the sense of the word limits that Sarah has talked about. I'd also say, sorry, Sarah.
No, as well as it's making sure it is relevant. So if that's another thing that the proposals committee look for, is there something that anyone could take away from them? If the topic is really, really specific to your country, to your situation, you need to present it in a way that someone from outside of that context could still take something away and apply it in their classroom or their office or wherever they are. So you might just need to adapt it slightly depending on the audience that you had last year. I mean, you've said it was international, so you're probably okay in that regard. But anyone that's submitting something that they've submitted elsewhere, bear in mind that the international audience that you will have
absolutely. Yeah, and I would say the last thing to consider that, Mariam, remember, as Sarah said previously, hopefully you heard that, was that if it's a workshop, then it's got to be clear what the audience participation is and what the interaction is when you make that proposal. That we have a talk, just to reiterate that talk is a 30-minute, and that is you talking at the audience. If you want a workshop, then that has to have audience participation in it at some point, and it needs to be clear in the proposal. So yes, is what we're saying, but do just have a think about the IATEFL process in terms of what Sarah has outlined there. And of course, do that by Wednesday, 4 o'clock UK time next week, Wednesday, the 13th of September. Michelle's got hers already, except for the title. That's a difficult bit, the title, and Michelle. You know what you want to talk about, but now you've got to get it in a catchy way. So we're all there. Maybe start a social media competition. We'll suggest a title for you.
I was going to say, maybe show what your ideas to a few colleagues and see if they can come up with anything. And do a bit of a brainstorm.
Knowing Michelle, I'm sure she'll come up with a fine title for a fine talk. Barry, I'm glad that we've been able to help you. If you've got any other questions, do feel free to put them in. We're going to change our topic slightly in a moment, but if you do have more questions about the conference, about getting in your speaker proposal, do put them into the social media channel and into the comment box. We always watch the comments we watch them regularly, but for 24 hours after our live stream, we keep a good eye on that in case there are any questions coming up from the recordings. So if you're watching the recording and you have a question, do feel free to pop it in that box. Asme, so Sarah, presenting a paper is a talk, yeah? If you're presenting your research findings, that would be a talk.
Yeah. If it's a research, then it will be a talk. Unless you wanted to do a poster. that's also works quite well if it's research. That often works well in a poster.
So a poster presentation is what it says it is. Yeah, they make a poster or like a poster. They're always amazing, and they go up around conference. And then there's a slot in the program when they come and when they're going to stand by the poster and
absolutely
talk about
yeah.
it. Yeah.
So your poster will be up for the full duration of the conference, and then you're given a slot when you can stand in front of your poster, and people can come and ask questions and things like that directly to you. But
brilliant. So most probably you're going to be doing a talk, but there's the poster route for you if you need it. Thank you for that, Sarah. Thank you so much for that, and I appreciate that you missed somebody at your door. I think during that, your doorbell went at some point. So thank you.
No idea what that was. I'll find out.
That mysterious thing. So thank you very much for joining us today. You have got a few busy few weeks coming up. Before I let you go, though, I mean, we've the one thing I forgot at the beginning: the scholarship winners. We already have speakers in place for conference, don't we? The scholarships are all done and announced.
Yeah, they were. So, a couple of weeks ago now, the scholarship winners were announced, which was really exciting. We've had a really good buzz from the winners already on social media. Their names, they're on the website as well as some previous social media posts to go back and check out who those winners are. So we just I want to say a massive congratulations to those, because it was really fierce competition. Each year the numbers of applications are going up at the moment. So yeah, anyone that's won a scholarship, really big well done, and we cannot wait to meet you.
Yeah, it's always exciting to meet the scholarship winners. I love meeting them at conference, and we tend to talk to a few of them during the live shows from conference, and they're always amazing people from such diverse backgrounds. So well done to all those scholarship winners. Hard luck if you applied and didn't get one. As Sarah said, we're inundated with scholarship proposals. It won't be long before they reopen for 2025, so keep an eye on that and keep an eye on the streams for that, and we'll talk about that in due course. But congratulations to all those winners. We'll see you in Brighton, and I look forward to meeting you there. Sarah, thank you. Go answer your door now, or if they're still stood. I doubt they're still stood there, but go away, and we'll move on and talk about the next event that's coming up actually from head office. Thank you, Sarah. Have a great day. Lovely to speak to you. So I'm going to take I don't know if John wants to come in. I'm looking at John off screen, and whether he's joining me for this or whether I get a shrug of the shoulders. So for that, I'm going to bring him in deliberately. Hi, John.
Nobody's come to my door, quite frankly. So
no, it's a sign.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, John. How you doing? So now we are in Bumblebee formation, as you called it, yellow and black.
Yes, we look like a combination of Sting and a bee. Absolutely.
And we won't pursue that. We'll let the audience ponder that. So we have an event coming up on Saturday, the 16th of September, and this is the first time we're doing this event. We're obviously quite excited about it because we've been working on it for a little while. So this is Themes 2023, and it's our new online event. As I said, hopefully the first of the Themes conferences coming over the next few years. And Themes 2023 will take place on the 16th of September, and you can see the time on the screen, 11 a.m. till 3 p.m. UK time. John, you want to talk about it or anything?
Yeah, I think this is a really exciting event. As you say, it's brand new. And what we're trying to identify is really key themes that have emerged in the world of English language teaching over the last 12 months. Obviously, that's heavily influenced for us at IATEFL by the IATEFL conference itself, and identifying sessions we had in Harrogate, which people found really engaging and really developed a lot of debate. But then there could be themes from articles in our publications, from webinars as part of our monthly webinar program, from our special interest groups, just identifying those key themes which have really got people talking, and then celebrating those and engaging and developing those themes in an online event which is sort of open to everybody around the world and nice and inclusive. And as you say, this is the first one, and it's next Saturday, the 16th of September. Really
which reminds me, since I said I'd do a talk, I better get down and write one, I guess. So as John said, we wanted to tap into what we do a little bit with IATEFL Online, because we meet and interview so many interesting people in all walks of IATEFL life from it, and also I think as well choose things that fit in with our overall strategy of who IATEFL is. So things like sustainability, and you'll see a talk on sustainability. In inclusivity, we've got inclusivity talks in there. We also wanted to highlight some of our scholarship winners and make sure the platform was there for everybody in it. So I'm really excited that it ties together many of the things that we do in IATEFL. As you say, there's themes that come out. This is the first time we've done it. It will be held online. And you'll notice that first talk, that first workshop there is because obviously one of the developing themes since conference. It was really interesting in Harrogate that, of course, because of the way the proposal system works, there were very few talks on generative AI. But obviously, that's become a massive theme in education now. So we're going to acknowledge that. I'm going to do a little bit of a hands-on introduction to generative AI to get us going, and then we'll hand over to members. And you'll see there are 3 sessions every hour. These are a mix of talks and workshops from it. But the great news, because the main problem when you go to the main conference is which session do you go to and which of the other sessions do you miss? But in this case, if you sign up to attend themes, you will get access to all of the sessions. You can attend one live and presumably attend one live, and you'll get the recording of the other 2 each time round. I think so. We're making sure that you get all or to experience it all. Live or recorded, which I think is also a great thing to do. John?
Yeah, just looking at these, I know it's you doing it, Sean, but I think one of the key things about the opening plenary is this isn't just about AI, artificial intelligence. This is connecting it to us, to English language teachers. What does it mean for us? How are we influenced by it? What is it going to mean for our roles, and how can we use it and engage with it? So I think that's
can you say that again so I can write it down and make sure it's in the top?
Write that down, yes. But then, as you can see, there's a really good mix of different sessions, and each one of these people has actually over the last 12 months been interviewed by IATEFL Live. Yeah. And so there's and that developed lots of talk and chat and comments on social media, and that's how we've sort of identified these people and these sessions, and we hope they're going to be really interesting, inspiring, and a little bit different as well. We're not necessarily talking grammar and vocabulary and the 4 skills. We're looking at other things which impact learners and practitioners in the classroom. Really good choice.
Yeah, as I said, I'm really looking forward to it because I think I always like it when we launch new products and bring new things to our members and to the wider profession. So it's great to have.
I think the nice thing as well, Sean, will be also we know this is going to be happening in the future. So I think once this has happened, we're going to be all thinking about, is that going to be a theme for next year as well? Yeah. And it'll be a really interesting thing to discover and see what themes emerge over the next 12 months as well.
Yes, it will. We'll have to, at some point after conference, we'll have to sit down and go, oh, what are the themes from? So this is an event which is open to anyone, but it's not a free event. We have different prices depending on who you are. You can see on the screen now there is the registration fee. So if you are a member of IATEFL, that registration fee is £10 for the whole day, and that £10 will get you access to all the live sessions, also to the recordings, and a certificate if you want one for your professional development needs. If you are a member of one of our teaching associations, then you can get the discounted price of £15, and again that gives you access to everything. And if you are neither of those, not an IATEFL member or a member of one of our associates, then the registration fee for the event is £20. And again, the registration fee, no matter what you pay, allows you to join in live with us. It also allows you access to all the recordings, and it will get you a certificate of attendance. Am I right?
Absolutely. Just a couple of absolutely key things, and it's exactly the same as what Sarah was saying about the conference. To attend any IATEFL event, the starting point, if you haven't already done so, is to create a free login on the IATEFL website. And the moment you've done that, then you'll see, just as you can see here on the top right, it'll say My Dashboard. And therefore you know you're logged in, and then you can register for any event which you choose you want to attend. This one you'll find, as you can see here, on the events page. Just click on the big banner at the top there, or the event in the little square lower down, and the website will pick up whether you're a member of IATEFL or you've just created a free login, but you're not a member, and it will charge you the appropriate amount. So it should be nice and simple to do.
Right.
And then once you've registered just before the event, you'll receive an email with all of the login information to attend the event.
Perfect. So I'm looking forward to lots of people joining us for that. I say that I'm looking forward to. Again, I need to go write that talk, and then I perhaps will be looking forward to people joining us. For I say it is the first time we've launched this event, so come along and be part of something new. One of the innovative things that we're trying to do here with IATEFL. So that's 2 key dates for your diary, and they're both next week. Wednesday, 4 o'clock is the deadline for your speaker proposal. If you want to have a chance at speaking at IATEFL in Brighton next year, then you must meet that deadline. Wednesday, 4 o'clock UK time is the cutoff time. And then following that, Saturday the 16th, and again in UK time from 11 a.m. through to 3 p.m, we bring you IATEFL Themes 2023.
And the deadline for registering for that event is the day before, is lunchtime lunchtime UK time, apologies, at 12 p.m. UK time on Friday, next Friday, the 15th of September. So you've got the rest of this week and all of next week to not forget. And we're looking forward to seeing everybody next Saturday.
And that's where you'll see John and I next. So thank you very much to John for joining us and bringing us up to date with the Themes event. Thank you very much to Sarah for telling us, giving us an overview of conference. As I said, if you've looked in your social media feed, wherever you're looking at it, you'll find extra links now in order to find out about conference proposals. Just to remind you, if you want to find out for some advice for putting your proposal in from a speaker point of view, go check out Lindsay's live stream. If you want to find out what the conference committee is looking for, then go and check out Madeline's webinar and everything else. Go through the website. I'll see you next Saturday at about 11, a week on Saturday, sorry, about 11 a.m. When we get IATEFL Themes underway. I'm very much looking forward to seeing you all there and bringing you what we think are the themes so far in 2023. Thank you so much for joining us in today's live stream. See you again soon.